Day01 MarkingMenus. What? Alright, we're going to talk about MarkingMenus. The very first thing is, let's look at the UI. This is the UI on full. I go to Display, Show All, UI Elements, Show All UI Elements. Everything's on. You got your tool settings, your channel box layer editor, a bunch of stuff for animators, your toolbox over here. Alright, I don't like to work like that. Look how much actual visible workspace I have here. And if I go to a 4-pane in here, wow. This to me is literally working from across the room. Look how small this cube is. I see people work like this because they want to see all views. This is very small. This is good for general shapes, but it's very small for details. Okay, I hit the space bar, I go right into here, still too far away from me. I hit Control space bar. Let's get rid of that. This is how I want to work. A clean sheet of paper. So when I talk about MarkingMenus, I talk about this. These things that come up when I hit Shift and right click. This is a MarkingMenu here. And you can customize this. And we're going to get into that in the lab. Well, not a lab today. But we'll get into this in the lab. The MarkingMenu in Maya and the entire user interface is based off of a MarkingMenu. It's built on the Maya mail scripting. It allows me to work very quickly. I can easily find my tools. I have a lot of them memorized just by gestures. You see that it's drawing a line. It makes more of a gesture. I can quickly subdivide this thing. I can add a material, which I think you guys are used to doing through this. I have a blend on here. I can already go to there. You can see some nice shininess. All with my MarkingMenu. I used to have a lot of hotkeys on the just programmed in here, and I used to have a lot of stuff on my shelf. I used to have my own personal shelf. I don't do that anymore, and for one reason is now I can, by using the default MarkingMenus in Maya, or ones that I create, I can go to anybody's computer. I can go to any studio that has Maya, sit down, immediately go to work. I don't have to load in my hotkeys. I don't have to load in my shelves, personal scripts, and all that. I just immediately sit down and go to work. Makes you a very fast modeler. So as you can see, I'm subdividing, I'm moving quite fast, and has a huge effect on your workflow. You don't really have to think about where something's at. The reason why I say that is that you may think, well, the menu's right here, come up here, press 1, 2, that's 2 clicks for me. That's the wrong tool. Edit mesh, 1, where's insert edge loop? Right here, it's 2 clicks for me. Now I'll go back. You see that? That has a huge effect on your brain process because there's a lot of words here. Nothing's sticking out, nothing's color coded. You're seeing pretty much gray and white. Your brain has to figure out where these words are. Split polygon tool. Look at tools in the end of all of these. I know somewhere over here, split polygon tool. It's not just 1 or 2 clicks. It's a couple seconds that your brain has to think about that. Multiply it on top of someone coming up to you and saying, hey, how was your weekend? Or did you get this such and such done? Any distraction that pulls you away has a huge effect on your workflow and your work ethic, and happens all the time. So with working with MarkingMenus, I know that if I want to go into component, face, verts, CVs, UVs, UVs, edges, verts. I can't even read it. I know it's there though. Edges, faces, verts, UVs. I don't do this anymore. Where's faces? Because I know, based off the marking menu, if I do this from muscle memory, that's what's going to happen. If I hold shift, I'm going to create a cube. If I didn't touch anything, there's a cube in the middle there. If I have nothing selected in space, it's a different marking menu. It's a creation marking menu. Hold shift, right click. Oops. Cylinder. Create polygon tool. Polysphere. I made all these things based off of that. So just in short, marking menus increase your modeling efficiency a lot. It takes away it sort of makes you brainless when working. You become a robot, and that's what you sort of want when you need to get back to work and just go to work. Now the marking menu itself, like I said, if you just press right click, nothing's selected in the view pane, you have options for complete tool and select all. If you hold down shift and right click, we have the creation marking menu. The creation marking menu. You have the create polygon tool and all your primitives, polygon primitives. Then if you, let's create a cube. Then if you hold down shift and right click, while you're in an object mode here is when you have it, the object is green. We have object mode, we also have component mode. Or you can think of it as selection mode as well. In object mode, you notice that you have a lot of your cut faces, your modeling tools here. Things to dig and cut right into this. In 3D Studio Max, it's quite complicated. I'm going to cut right into this with my insert edge loop. Subdivide that. Go back to component object mode from component mode, or component mode to object mode. A lot of you guys would do right click, as Brian has taught you, to go to object mode up here. That's fine, just make a gesture and you're back into it. I hit F8 as a toggle. That's the way I was trained. Now I'll go back to F8. Now I'm in component mode. In component mode, if I hit right click, here we go, standby. Alright, listen up. Scheduler's getting everything worked out. I'm going to pass out a new schedule so you guys can take with you. So now we are in component selection mode. This is an editable mode. When I speak of components, I'm talking about vertices, vertex, edges, faces, and UVs. This is the editor, or excuse me, the marking menu, so you can manipulate this. If I'm in vertices here, I now have another menu. Shift right click. I can do different things with that. Notice it only, every function on here only pertains to vertices. Collapsing, merge vertices. In my case, I don't do anything like paint, split, delete, extrude. Anything here I don't do. I just use merge vertices to center quite a bit. If I go to edges, shift right click, I also have a lot of functions that pertain just to the edges. Split polygon tool there allow me to use extrude edge, soften hard edges, everything merge. I use this quite a bit, a lot of these tools quite a bit. I go to faces, shift right click, everything that pertains to faces. A lot of them are the same, and you notice that if we were in, let's go back to vertices, shift right click, I extrude vertex, it's going south, and I'll say south or down when I'm talking about this area, and this area here is called a quadrant. We'll look at that when we look at the hot box. So you notice if I go down, extrude is here, always down. If I go to faces, extrude faces. If I go to edge, extrude edge. That's good, because then my brain only has to think that extrude is down. is south of there. Merge, all the merging functions are north. So if I go to merge edges to center, merge vertices, merge faces, they're all north. You notice that. And then on the side we have a lot of cutting tools, keeping the cutting tools on the side, dealing with normals. This is stuff that I'm just showing you. A lot of it you'll just use because, you'll remember because you're doing it over and over again. You have to force yourself to say, quit doing this, go to split polygon tool, and then come here. If you do, every time I have a new function and I see it in the marking menu, I go here, I stop, I say, you know what, I'm not going to do that. I'll even undo and force myself to use the marking menu because I'm telling my brain this is what you need to do instead of going to the this menu here. Some of these menus take forever to get to. Rendering editor, hypershade, that's 3 clicks. Settings, preferences, hotkey editor, plugin manager. Look at it, I don't like this submenu. I don't like that. Let the marking menu be your friend. If we go into the hotkey editor, I'm holding down spacebar. You'll notice you see this line right here. You guys see that? Make sure I'm recording. Yeah. This is the quadrant zone here. This is what's activating the marking menu there. I get from here. You notice this is a masking marking menu there. As soon as I cross this line, it's a different marking menu. See that? This is my Windows. These menus, the most used menus here, are also here. Holding down spacebar, you can see the quadrant. This is your southern quadrant, east, west, and northern quadrant. Here's your perspective / outliner. You can create this. I don't use these often, or at all, really, because I don't like to share my pages. Split my window pane. I'm working on a laptop. So, some of you might find that useful. That's your view pane. But I do use this. This is your UI marking menu. Spacebar is going to be in your eastern quadrant. Spacebar, attributes, channel box. And the cool thing about that is once you get that, there's my shelf, there's my channel box, there's that. Oops. Toolbox. I'm bringing back the UI as I need it, and at the same time I can take it away. So forth. Look at that. Status line. Again, that comes with practice. The most often marking menu that you'll use is dealing with your different views. If we bring up, let's make a cube again. I'm in perspective, front view, side view, top view. Perspective. You'll use that quite a bit, especially when you're dealing with a car. Most important thing is, if you guys already have this, destroy it immediately because it will cause a lot of problems. It's that view cube. I hate this. I think it's something that they brought over from 3D Studio Max. The problem with this is that we're in front here and we have a back. The back is ridiculous because people think that this is what I'm going to use to model the back of the car. The back is just it's deceiving because it's actually, the front camera. I mean, there's a camera back there, but it's not going to help you. It's going to turn your car around and it's going to make problems. So what I would do is go to, there's home, go here, go to properties, uncheck show the view cube, save. I come by your laptop, I don't want to see the view cube because later on down the road your car might be upside down or facing the wrong way. You're going to say, why did that happen? I'm saying you're trying to use the back camera. There is no back camera, not in this class. So in short, this is the marking menu. I'll recap really quickly. We have an empty scene. Let's bring up our UI. Look at this. See, it takes me. I've been using this for how many years? And it still takes me time to find all that. So this is your UI. Control spacebar clears everything. Control spacebar brings things back. That doesn't always happen. The mail scripting gets upset. So you have to go to Display, UI, Show All UI Elements. You can also create a button up here, which I'll show you guys later. Control spacebar, Shift right click gives us a creation menu, polygons. Create a cube. Shift right click in object mode gives us cutting tools on the right, merge tools on the top, and supporting appending tools, soften edge, normal tools on this side. If we go into component mode, in my case I'm going to use F8, or I could easily just, without selecting anything, back to object mode, without selecting anything, I can just go right click and I'll go to faces, shift right click, I get the same tools. I get extrude on the bottom or south, merging tools on the top, and a lot of editing tools, cutting tools on this side here. That's based off the component. Our hotbox gives us a lot of different things. Your hotbox right now probably looks like this, a mess. Again, my brain has to read through all this. Where is edit mesh? Some people do this and they do that. I do this, I get rid of all this. Go here, and I'll do this on your laptop because it bothers me. I'll say hide all. I just keep this. Go to show common menus, show pane specific menus, and show polygons. That's all you need. This is quick. This is, I don't have a bunch of text that I have to read through. Keep it very digestible. So that's it for marking menus. What we're going to do now, stop the video.